Okay, I took a breather. We're back with the house in Fata Morgana. That was awesome. I love everything. It's just so good. Anyway, we're at the ending list. There's this prologue thing. If it ends up being short, we'll just move on to the backstage. If not, we have this, whatever this is. Please don't be another flashback. Wake up. Please wake up. Come on. We're back in the manor. The maid? Yep. Good morning. Oh, Morgana? What's the occasion? You never come to wake me up. I was merely concerned for your health. You really should be sleeping in a proper bed. You were concerned about me? You do realize the concept of health bears little meaning for either of us, don't you? Why would I not be concerned? You are me. Something would have caused you to depart this world. The same won't happen to me. You're right. That's true. So long ago. Almost forgot I told her she was me. And it would seem that she still believes that to be the case. Foolish woman. I haven't forgot about that. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some lovely mint leaves if you would like. They are wonderful for improving one's mood. I have no interest in, or need for, tea. That's most unfortunate. In that case, perhaps you could tell me a story. A story? You mean the one about Michelle and Giselle again? Yes, that one. I do love that story also very much. I, for one, am growing rather tired of it. Told you dozens of times now. Now don't be like that. The best stories never stop being moving, no matter how many times you hear them. It's like I'm talking to a child. Alright then, how about this? I'm going to ask you a question. If you give me an answer I like, I'll tell you the story again. Oh? What kind of question? Nothing difficult, I promise. I want to hear your opinion on something. Do you think Giselle and Michelle should be reunited? That is far from a simple question, if I do say so myself. She would certainly be happiest if you were to return, yes. After all, Giselle yearns after Michelle so much she takes the name Michelle, which is reborn. That she does. She assumes the same name every single time. But her namesake, the real Michelle, has never once shown up. No, he has not. In which case, the more realistic option for her to attain happiness would be to forget about him and stay here in the mansion with me. It hurts! It hurts! I can take very good care of her. Provide her with enough happiness to balance out all the tragedy she's had to suffer. This is brilliant. If only she had any idea how far off the mark she was. You are Giselle, my dear. Another question, then. If, hypothetically, you were Giselle, what would you do? What do you mean? Would you still want to be reunited with Michelle? If I were Giselle. Huh. I imagine I'd keep waiting, yes. For someone who, after hundreds of years, has never shown any signs of returning? As long as the possibility remains, what is a few hundred years? Waiting is something I do quite well. Furthermore, I've not been through any of what Giselle has, so I would have little reason to give up hope. I almost want to tell her, to drag her back through all of her memories. Michelle, showing up at the mansion, never realizing who you really are. You, unable to bear that disappointment, the betrayal. Is something the matter? I think I'll refrain, though. I have no particular interest to cause Giselle pain, and I wouldn't want her to break down entirely. She's of no use to me, non-functional. Your answer is not entertaining enough, so I won't be telling the story of Giselle and Michelle today. It's not to your satisfaction? That's most unfortunate. Going for a walk. You do whatever you please. Enjoy yourself. Is that it? Oh, no? You going somewhere? Man in the painting? No. What door is that? I don't remember. Oh, garden. Door 1. This is the one I wanted. Tell me that I'm not the bad one here. Oh, God. Closing your eyes won't make your problems go away. It won't erase your crimes. It won't take you out of this place. It won't make me despise you any less. Let me go, please. I'm begging you. I feel like I'm going to go mad. There's nothing here. Absolutely nothing. I vaguely remember a beautiful rose garden, but those memories just make it worse. I can't stand the sight of this emptiness any longer. You better get used to it, or accept your growing madness, because this is all you'll be seeing for eternity. It's not my fault. I'm not the bad guy. Repeating that won't make it true. Tell me something, Mel. Who's the girl you cared most about? I presume you've been here long enough that you remember the area of roses? Remember what you said to your dear sister? The girl you once went to such lengths to save? You called her disgusting. You pushed her away. You're a pretty terrible brother, in person. I can't stop laughing when someone like you starts going on about how much you care. How important this or that person is to you. Empty. Superficial. Meaningless words. I love it. Please enough. Can we save here? Title. They didn't think about saving here. Please enough. Brilliant. I'm so sorry. You'll never have my forgiveness. Never. Very well, my dear. My voice is starting to really hurt. So she'll be going to Yukimasa and Yakupo? The mirror? Nope. Yeah, you have to get across the mirror to get to the cellar. Oh yeah. I don't think I'll even bother with him today. Why, hello there, if it isn't Morgana. Where you going? How you been? What you up to? Wanna have a little chat? You know the time? Hello? And I'm definitely not dealing with him. I feel bad for Georges. Nothing? Oh, I see you finally regained the appearance of a man. Your mind doesn't seem to be quite there yet, though. Having trouble moving around, too? Whatever it is that you're trying to say, I can't say I much care. I revile you, far more than any of the others. You drained me of my blood, then you murdered me. You're the worst of them all. Enjoy an eternity of agony. Eventually, the nothingness will become too much for you to bear. The more of yourself you regain, the more this place will eat away at you. I will say, it's quite amusing seeing someone so as heartless as you try to show something resembling care for another human being. This is after door 3 then. You learned your lesson though, didn't you? Ultimately, you're only capable of causing pain. So long, Lord. Morgana. Okay. What now? It's pretty boring, huh? Oh, is this gonna show how Michelle appeared for the first time? Oh, back from your walk already? Not much to see after all. What are you looking out the window for? Come see for yourself. Look, there's a shadow outside. A shadow? It is heading towards the house. I do believe I see white hair, too. Must be her. My oh my, I need to get things prepared to welcome her back. Her? That doesn't make any sense. The mansion isn't in the physical world right now. So how could she be here? Wait, is that? She chose a wonderful time to return. There's no one else here to take her attention. Might be able to convince her to stay with me this time. Perhaps. Priscilla's gone so blind. She can't even see that that's not a woman out there. Is that you, Michelle? After all these years, show up actually looking like yourself? Without a body of flesh? At this gathering place of souls? I must have her be my master. For I've been waiting so very long. Master? Yes, what about it? You never once called her that. Oh, I haven't? Cannot say I remember either way. I'm going to add a few logs to the fireplace. We will not want the house to be cold when she arrives. You go do that. I don't get it. Why are you showing up now, Michelle, looking like that? What provoked yourself to call you master? Well, Doesn't matter either way. Whatever your reasons, you're still frail and powerless. Suppose I'll just watch and see. More than happy to keep you around. As long as you don't look like her. I too have been wanting to see you again, Michelle. Though not nearly as much as her. I assume that's it. Yeah, okay. That was nice. Nice isn't the right word, but it was something. So we have only 10 minutes, so check out the backstage. Here we are in the backstage. Backstage, it says at the top. Excuse me, what are you doing here? You, yes you. Oh, you're acknowledging me? I wish I knew how all these uninvited souls kept finding their way to my mansion. Well, never mind that for now. The fact that you're here means you've uncovered all the mansion's mysteries, yes? My congratulations for having the fortitude to endure such a grim tale. I would ask if you what you thought of it, but unfortunately, that's beyond even my powers. Since you're here, though, how would you like to take a little tour of the house? That is, if you're willing to take this hand. You had a strong stomach, at least. I assume we took the hand. Before we begin our little trek, I'd like to emphasize that this is, as the title implies, a look behind the curtains of the house at Fata Morgana. If you just completed the game and like some time to dwell on it, you're welcome to head back now. Oh, do I want some time to dwell on it? No. Should you choose to continue, I encourage you to do so, knowing that what you're about to read does not in any way respect the tone of the game proper. You'll be making your way into the heads of the staff themselves, and I promise you, it's not a pretty sight. You'll see people who shouldn't be here, things that contradict the events of the game, a general sense of pandemonium. You do best not to think much of any of it. That said, I prefer not to have to guide you around the house all by myself. Not because I have anything in particular against you, of course. I simply think it would be inappropriate for him not to accompany us. Yes, him, the story's protagonist. Let us be off then. So we have a character in the house of Fata Morgana! Ah, I found another split end! Look, this one's split into 3! I don't know why you're so excited about split ends. My hair is such a mess, maybe I should just cut it all off. Not particularly attached to having long hair. Not sure how I feel about that idea. Quite enjoy playing with your hair myself. Says the woman who once called me a hair monster. I didn't actually mean that. I was just, a little overwhelmed at the time. But how unexpectedly handsome you were. But I couldn't bring myself to say it. I hope your two sickening lovebirds spontaneously combust. Hey, what was that for? And be careful what you wish for, quite literally. Might actually go up in flames. How long have you been standing there, Morgana? As the true master of this house, I'm everywhere at all times. Even in the bathrooms. Don't worry. When I was in here, Precision, I closed my eyes and plugged my ears when you're doing your business. I think that's enough toilet humor for the time being. Especially in front of our guest. You're the one who brought it up. Wait, what guest? Oh, so you can't see the soul beside me? It's quite a shame. Could there be who was watching over us? I'd better give them my thanks then. Unfortunately, I can't see you there, but either way, thank you very much for accompanying us to the end of our story. Go on, Michelle, you thank them too. Thanks. You're the protagonist. Surely you can do better than that. Can you really consider me the protagonist? What, did you hit your head and lose your memory again? It just never really seemed that way to me. I can understand that. You didn't become an active participant in the story until the end of Chapter 4, Michelle. In some ways, you could call the first 4 chapters an extended prologue. You really could. Once you reclaimed yourself, you were most definitely playing the protagonist. Especially the final chapter. You'd be swooning by the end. Sure. Thanks. You want to bring Michelle with me. And only Michelle. What about me? Because with you around, turns into a lovesick, airheaded dope. He's about as useful to me as a wet paper sack full of potatoes. Come on now, get moving. Are you sure I can't come with you? Absolutely not. You spoil him. More ways than one. What are we going to do, though? What do you think, my dear? What any respectable behind-the-scenes extra would do, of course. We're gonna visit each room in the mansion and faff about like a bunch of fools. Sounds a lot like a spend 1,000 of lines talking trash about Michelle to me. Certainly recall plenty of faffing about in the main game anyway. Why don't we do something we couldn't do there? I have just the thing. Here, the cue cards. Cue cards? We got profiles and other miscellaneous notes about the creators, from the creators about each of the characters. But they might come in handy. See them being useful, yes? But why exactly do you have those? Apparently it's the maid's job to give the star of the show his notes. Is that a fact? Yuji? If I'm not mistaken, the maid had cue cards in the other extra as well. Other extra? You don't have cue cards in the prologue. What's the other extra? Or they pretend those miniaturized things were not actually us. What? Save here? We got something to go check out! Maybe? Or just go all the way through? And yeah, Revolution. Okay, it should have been the CG with Giselle Mitchell at the end. I guess that's a pretty good one too, though. Art gallery. We have all the CGs, right? Wait, I don't think we're missing any. Unless a Dead End had one. Oh, I can use these as thumbnails now! This is the greatest thing ever! I'm still only... I think I just got to the third door, uploading wise. So, hold on, I want to look at this one again. So good! What's the other extra? Okay. Enter the... Well, no. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Is that how the game started? I was looking down on a corpse? Oh, wait. We can reload. Huh. Not sure what that's about then. I'd rather pretend there's... Yeah. Can't help but feel the creators are screwing with us on some level. Actually, since we're here, maybe we should start with the two of you before we head out. I'll read your profile, Michelle. I know you don't want to do it yourself, would you? Hand over the cue cards. Alright, now let's begin. This pathetic long-haired man is, believe it or not, the protagonist of the house in Fata Morgana. See, I told you this is how it would go. You can't deny a whole lot of readers probably didn't expect the creepy white-haired recluse to turn out to be the main character. That's true. According to this, two of the creators' goals for this game were to subvert readers' expectations, cast new light on old information the further you progress through the story. That makes sense. You two are probably the most obvious examples of that. Don't forget about yourself, Morgana. Even before the focal point of the game, my story, was revealed, there were examples of lines or events taking on new meaning as each of the first 3 chapters developed. Though perhaps there are some people whose interpretations do not change throughout the course of the tales. That is true. First, Mel seemed like a fairly likable young man, but by the end of his chapter, he revealed himself as a helplessly worthless child. The second chapter is pretty crazy too. When he found out about ukulele, that was it. No, that's not how you pronounce his name. So I call it Eucalyptus. I don't know how to say that. You already made that joke. Let it go, please. That creature doesn't need a name. Just call him the Beast. Chapter 3 was something else too. My impression of Jacopo and Maria completely turned around by the end. At the end of that chapter, I learned what kind of man he really was, which then ties into the revelations in the final chapter. Piles of human garbage, the 3 of them. Well, we'll go into more detail about them later. Right now, it's Michelle's turn. The core aspects of his characters are justice and righteousness. What? Oh, hey, that's what he said. What? Why are you looking at me like I just told you the sky is purple? I wasn't expecting so flattering to come out of your mouth. Nor do I really think of myself that way. Hardly a paragon of virtue. That's true. Putting a knife to a woman's neck isn't very righteous. My sincerest apologies. You had your reasons, I know. But it was pretty terrifying at the time. I don't hold it against you, though. Anyway, while those are the core aspects of your character, they are buried over the course of the abuse and misfortune you suffered throughout the story. Your circumstances in life forced you to repress yourself. Once you're free from those restrictions in the final chapter, you're able to act as the man you truly are, or something to that effect. I'd say, it's just those influences more than anything that got me through the final chapter. Like I said in the game, I couldn't have done it on my own. Glad I could be of assistance. I really need to peel these two apart. We'll never finish if they keep making goo-goo eyes at each other every 10 seconds. That's supposed to be my character. There's one thing I can't wrap my head around. What would that be? How all the promotional material portrays me. Steph has a fondness for being misleading. The writer especially. And one of the art has Michelle in like armor or something, doesn't it? Something like that. Thank my portrayal on the demo's backstage extra. What was that all about? I don't know what it's referring to. Well, it was the demo. I'm sure they just didn't want to spoil the surprise. It was fun calling you my whipping boy too. Your portrayal makes sense if you assume the Michelle there was from when it was just the two of us living in the mansion. You were pretty damaged at that point. Which was largely my fault, I suppose. In any event, the promotional materials are already out there, so there's nothing you can do about it. You are, for all intents and purposes, officially a NEET. Oh, now that the game's over, I have a couple of things I'd like to get off my chest. And what would those be? Never wanted to be a recluse. Well said. Well said indeed. Also, never wanted to... I never wanted to die a virgin. Well said. Well said indeed. But I must say, it seems rather irreverent to joke about either of those things knowing what we know. Knowing what we now know. Well, we're not the ones you're hiding. We're just saying what we're told to. Regardless, can't say I'm completely satisfied, but I'm happy enough my story was adequately explained in the game itself. Genuinely impressed you can be happy about any of your story, considering the kind of hell you were put through. There are how many dead ends? It took quite the beating, on more than one occasion. A lot of that does fall on my head, I suppose. The ending was perfect, though. So yes, I'm happy. Me too. Please, for the love of all that's holy, stop smiling. It is kind of weird to see Michelle honestly smiling. Can't see it as anything but pitiful. Well, why? Because in this story, you're the king of misfortune. Oh, that reminds me. Something in your profile even more crucial than your core of justice and righteousness. You're apparently born under an unlucky star. That's why, no matter what you do or where you go, you're destined to have terrible things happen to you. Why must the universe be so cruel to me? Well, I am the queen of misfortune, so perhaps they just wanted someone else to be as miserable as me. Giselle had it pretty bad too. What? You think so? I don't think I had it nearly as bad as either of you. Spent centuries completely and utterly broken. It's all in the past though. Back to my old self, and that's enough for me. You're unnaturally skilled at whitewashing the past. In fact, the both of you are far too forgiving. Although, I suppose that's why you ended up as the hero and heroine of the story. But I'm still the anti-heroine. You say that like it's something to be proud of. Well, that about covers the main character, Michelle. In conclusion, he's a 27-year-old man with his head in the clouds who talks like a character out of a bad fairy tale. What happened to all that about justice and righteousness? But couldn't you conclude with that? He also has no sense of humor and doesn't realize that they're the exact same thing. Could he try not buttering me up only to tear me back down again? Even the inverse would be preferable. And to top it all off, he's completely incompetent when it comes to romance. I knew it! I knew this was how it was going to go! I'd rank you being made fun of number 2 in terms of when you're most interesting, Michelle. Wait, what? I'd rank you being made fun of number 2 in terms of when you're most interesting. Okay, I get it. Gee, thanks. That makes me feel so much better. Now, since we're falling back into our usual routine, let's move on to Giselle, shall we? What? Me next? I've got butterflies in my stomach. And here we have, believe it or not, the heroine of the game. What's so hard to believe about that? Tell me, would you have ever imagined the maid with her creepy laugh was once this bubbly ball of energy? Are they not thinking about my time as the maid? I can't say I blame you. Your mind was complete mush at the time. Oof. If you'll allow me to say, that made it auto-scrolled. That maid outfit was quite the eye-catcher. Hold your tongue, my dear. Now I have to ask yourself, where in the world did he pick up those laughably flowery speech patterns? Hey, are you sure you want to know? Is there any reason I want it? I picked it up from you, Morgana. Excuse me? Like, when you're really ripping into someone, Morgana, you can't start talking like a character in a stage play. Calling me theatrical? You take that back. So the main speech patterns were modeled after Morgana's, huh? That definitely makes sense, considering the tone in the 4th chapter. Don't you be talking about me, even in your head. Not a word. Regardless, my speech patterns and the maid share nothing in common. You're terrible human beings for so much as suggesting it. What are you smirking about? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that human Morgana is kind of incredibly adorable. Ah, you're blushing. Look at her, she's blushing. Oh, you be quiet. I'm just gonna stand by and watch as your girlfriend insults me like this, Michelle? I have to agree, if you ask me. You're all pretty adorable right now. It's like 2 tiny little tomatoes are growing on your face. I'm not blushing. If the 2 of you don't back off, I'll cast a curse on your souls for all eternity. That seems a bit excessive. We seem to have gotten off track. Let's take a look at Giselle's profile now, shall we? Can't imagine there's much written there. You obviously aren't a very good judge of your own character, then. No sane person would spend centuries waiting for a man they only knew for a year. It isn't the amount of time we were together that matters. Besides, it's more complicated than that. I thought we were forced to part ways. There's no way I could let it end there. Also, we're bound on a cellular level. Cellular. I think I just vomited into my mouth a little. It wasn't that bad, was it? Moving on. So as you can see, Giselle has her own fair share of baggage as well, but she's an optimistic woman, proactive about moving on. Hidden beneath the maid was a fairly classic heroine character. Giselle and the maid came about because one day, creators decided they really wanted to see a cheerful young woman turn into a broken husk of a human. Poor Giselle. Another thing they wanted to do with Giselle was start out with her as essentially the story's narrator, then over the course of the game, pull her out of that position, turn her into a real character. On a somewhat related note, Giselle's portrayal, or the maid's I suppose, outside of the game was possibly worse than mine. It was! Especially evil in the demo's backstage scene. I'd estimate about 70% of the character the staff tried to play off as the maid was actually Morgana. You're making it sound like I'm evil now. That I will not stand for. You weren't evil, but you're definitely an antagonist for a good portion of the game. I've already established that the staff gets off on being intentionally misleading, so let's just assume that's what it was and move on. Before I forget, there's one other important note in Giselle's profile I still need to go over. Oh, and what would that be? She's the largest. It's so true though. Like every time there's a CG and like a emotional moment, it's just they're there. You can't help but noticing it. It's just the largest breast of anyone in the game. I saw that, Michelle. I saw you sneaking a look. Don't think you could fool me. What, Michelle just noticed? I was like, whoa! When did those get there? It's hard not to look, frankly. You guys have no idea what it's like. My shoulders are constantly stiff. It's terrible. Hold on a second. Didn't it say on your profile? What? That you prefer small boobs? What? I never said that. And who do you think we're gonna trust here? Enough of that. Let's just tell Eleanor the maid for you. She started out the game seemingly full of secrets, possibly skimming something. Turned out to be ideal wife material. Ideal wife material. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. Well, she gets so much better treatment than me. The story's supposed to be, at least to some degree, about Michelle's growth, so without Giselle around, I imagine it would have ended failing that goal spectacularly. Most likely, the two of us kept each other going. Now that about sums up everything I have to say about you two. So we're going to go for a little walk around the mansion. You stay here and keep yourself entertained, Giselle. I'd rather come with you. Staying here too. No, you're coming. If you don't, I'll cast another curse on their 3 souls. Or do you want all your hard work in the game to go to waste? You don't have to threaten me. Okay, fine. I'll be back shortly, Giselle. Have fun. I'll be here when you get back. Here, Michelle. You can have the cue cards back. It's now your job to get off their profiles. Do I really have to? You might as well do something. What happened to the Michelle from the game's climax? Because right now you look like breathing is too much effort to bother with. I just don't think I'm the right person to be talking about other people's characters. You might have a point. If you don't have someone to keep you in check, you'll start defending anyone, no matter how heinous. You're then to learn to call a sinner a sinner. Was she asleep for half the game? Anyway, it's your job. Understand? Well, whatever. Let's get going then, shall we? We'll start by visiting the 3 men who instigated my curse. And I think I'll let you, our guest, decide the order. Now go on, take your pick. If we don't go in order, we get a dead end, right? Off we go then, to see the spineless little boy. Oh, it's a song. Came to pay you a visit, you spineless little boy. Hey, show up out of nowhere and that's how you greet me? What are you two doing here anyway? We have to talk to you about this. We have to talk to you for this behind-the-scenes extra. Do you really think anyone would visit you if they had a choice? This is an extra, like you said, so can't we make this a pleasant affair? Also, I know you like calling me spineless, but I don't think I'm that big of a wuss. You ask me, I think I handled myself pretty well on the white-haired hero by the end of Chapter 1. I definitely put in some good work in the final chapter. I'll agree with you about the final chapter, but the end of the first chapter doesn't leave the best impression. Can you really blame me? How was I supposed to predict Nellie would go so far? No kidding. Go on, Michelle, the cue cards. Share the spineless child's profile with all the world. Let's see here. Since the desire to be loved is one of the themes of Mel's story. His unconditional kindness for others was rooted in that desire. Could he be any more pitiful, my dear? I don't think that's a terribly unusual trait. Some people need the validation and love of others to make it through life. That's only human. See? I told you you'd start getting defensive. I don't see the point of being as harsh on him in the extra as I was in the main game. On the subject of the first chapter, I have to say, it really was surprisingly bright and cheerful for the most part. At least until the latter parts of the chapter, things were honestly quite pleasant. I wonder how many readers at that point of the game could have even imagined how brutal and dark the main story would turn out to be. Up until the second chapter began, I imagine many people thought you were the game's protagonist, Mel. Not that I could have handled that kind of responsibility, of course. Let me guess, because I'm spineless? It's a question of experience. Only someone who's been through the kind of mistreatment and misfortune Michelle has would have been able to free me. Oh? I didn't know you had it that bad, Michelle. It's, not something I care to talk about. To start things off, he was physically and emotionally abused by a psychopathic woman by the name of... Not another word, Morgana! Well, whatever happened. Sounds like it was rough. You have my sympathies. Getting pity from you just makes me irrationally angry. Hold still so I can give you a good whack to the jawbone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're just defending me a dozen lines back. Now you want to hit me? We never heard from Amy again, did we? Like everyone else kind of, well, you know, Didier and Georges came back for the finale. But Amy, you know. Don't even know if she died young. You two get along oddly well, you know. There's something about Michelle that almost suddenly makes him feel like he's my age. I have a good 10 years on you. He had 13 years locked up in isolation from the world. It's hardly a surprise he stopped aging mentally. Whoa, you're locked up for 13 years? Wow, now I really feel bad for you. Prepare for the beating of a lifetime, boy. Why? Just said I felt bad for you. Your sympathies by and large are ruse. Rarely ever do you genuinely mean it. That's not true. You've got enough track. Mel is on the surface, a friendly, kind-hearted young man, but has a tendency to stumble and cower back when things get difficult, in part due to the lack of self-esteem mentioned earlier. And in the final chapter, he started off in a very difficult situation, so he is submissive and a constant source of pathetic complaining. Spineless and submissive. There's no hope for you, is there? Gah. I think you'd make a fairly respectable young man if you could overcome that weakness. The end of the final chapter was in part a result of him reaching that point. See? When push comes to shove, I come through. Have you forgotten the part where you sold me out? Sorry about that. One's environment does have a significant effect on their behavior. Well, that about covers what's on the cue card. I feel like I just spent the whole time getting railed on. Not that I can blame you, I guess, considering how I acted over the course of the game. In the end, you did manage to prove a good ally, though. Thanks. Glad I could be of assistance. You're trying to end this on a pleasant note, and I won't have it. Him being someone helpful in an alternative version of events that never happened occurred doesn't change the fact that he gave me up like this spineless wuss he is. Oh, give me a break. What are you? The game's over. This could be a different game entirely, and I'd still hold it against him. Though I suppose I could be a little less insistent about it. We do have a guest, after all. Now I think it's about time we went to see someone else. What? You're leaving already? That's unfortunate. I was hoping we'd maybe go for a walk around out in the sun, have a picnic together or something. So you can weaken me? And what will you do to me? If you're just a walk around a lake, I'll tie rocks to your feet and push you in. Ha 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 ha. Very well, Mel. Till our souls cross paths once more, in the boundless sphere of fate. Yeah. Bye, Morgana. Michelle. I really hope someone brings up what does that mean during the last one. I think I'm going to call it there and do the rest of the backstage next time. Because this will probably go on for a while and I need a break from talking. Yeah, honestly. I'll do the rest, not tomorrow. Soon, basically. But I just need a rest for today. I love this game, but I gotta... When did I start recording today? What episode was it? 62? 63? No, it's second half of 64. I didn't record that much today. Let's see, 20 minutes, hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours. Okay, that's 3 hours. Never mind. Anyways, did I save? Yeah, so thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next time with some more of the House and Fata Morgana. What will be the finale? I think I'm going to do... Next one will be the finale, assuming Backstage wraps itself up in like under an hour. And then I'm going to do a final thoughts video. I usually put that in the finale, but I didn't... There wasn't really room for it in the last episode. Putting it in the Backstage episode feels kind of weird, so I'll just make it a separate video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be back next time. Bye.